morning, y'all. It is day 2. I am up an hour early again. Set my alarm for 7 a.m. It went off in the middle of another crazy dream. And I was not ready to get up at that point. I needed to snap back to reality. I did hit the snooze button again for 5 minutes. However, I got up at 7:02. I didn't physically get out of bed probably till like 7:06, but I did get up at 7:02 because, I'm trying to get up early. I'm not, it's baby steps. Like, I'm not at the place where I can just spring out of bed yet when my alarm gets up. But, yeah, it was still tough, the bed was still comfortable, but it was a little bit easier this morning. I just thought, I still went to bed last night, and still like waking up feeling like, a little like, not self-conscious, but I guess, I don't know what the word is, like, just kind of like, I guess maybe being vulnerable, I guess, like putting stuff out there on the internet. And it's not like I'm putting like crazy stuff out, but it's like, like I said, this is a very personal journey, and it's still that like, not hesitation, but that like resistance to like, oh Lord, like you're starting again, putting it out there on the internet. Somebody's gonna get, like interested and they're gonna watch you and blah, blah, blah. So it's still that, a little bit of that resistance and that feeling that, I am putting something like personal out there on the internet. And I actually hear my second alarm going off. So let me go. Am I back? Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm doing good because that second alarm, like I stated in the video yesterday, is my 7:45 alarm. And even with that, I would hit the snooze on that. So it looks like I probably need to set that for earlier now. So, but what was I saying? Yeah, just kind of like feeling some like resistance, to like being vulnerable on the internet and just putting out like my challenges and my struggles. But this is a common, very, very, very common struggle that we all have, is like consistency. So, it's like, it's not just me. It's an issue we all face. So I know I don't need, to feel like that. But I think that's all I have for now, but I will probably hop back on here, a little bit later. Oh, one more thing, and it's also coming out here looking any type of way. Whew. Okay, so I did want to share something with you guys. It was a post that I had, Instagram story that I had shared yesterday from a page called The Mind Friends, and the post says, sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is the basics consistently. Drink more water than you think you need. Get outside, even if it's just 5 minutes. Reflect on things you're grateful for. Connect with people you love. Stretch and move your body. Write down your goals. Reassess your values. Eat nourishing food. Meditate and rest. And it had it in capital letters, the first part again. Sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is the basics consistently. And I had tried to share it in a video I did last night, but for some reason it wasn't uploading. But what I was saying is, we all have these like big lofty goals that we want to accomplish, and we think that's like the advanced thing to do, But yeah, this really did make me see is like, the advanced things are the things that are good for you, that you do consistently, and it could be like the smallest thing, but just done in a consistent manner. So that really, really, really spoke to me. But yeah, I will catch y'all later. Oh yeah, and I did not wash my hair last night. That was another thing that was supposed to be on the list for me to do, but I was so tired, and my hair, I don't know if y'all see, I have locks. Been growing them for 20 years, and it takes me a good amount of time to wash, twist. So yeah, I just didn't have the energy for it because I had gotten up early yesterday, went to bed late the night before. Can't do it today, so I'm definitely gonna try and do it tomorrow, but you know, I'll decide because I do want to hold myself to it. Whatever day that I put, that I will do it. Hey y'all, so I'm back. I went ahead and started my to-do list of things that I want to get accomplished, and I'm still trying to think about how I want to structure these videos because there's like the day-to-day goals that I want to accomplish. And then there's, you know, like the long-term things that I want to accomplish. So I don't know. I'm trying to, I guess, think of how much focus I want to put on each. Long-term is definitely the waking up an hour early. But in addition to those, oh, and then, you know, consistent exercise. But in addition to those, there are some other long-term things that I do want to incorporate. And I know something with me, it's like when I get on these, like, I'll call them kicks, to do better, and hopefully, you know, it becomes lifestyle. But when I get on these kicks to do better, like I try and do a lot of things at once. Like I'm going to be better at this, I'm going to be better at that. But I know your brain cannot handle all these changes at once. And that's something, I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous videos that I did, but that's a huge, like interest of mine, is figuring out, you know, like your brain and how it works to build habits and, you know, keep you productive, because it all really does start here. So I know when, you know, you try and do too many things at once, your brain freaks out because your brain is used to being at like equilibrium. And from what I've read and from what I've heard on like, you know, like neural pathways and stuff in your brain, being that your brain freaks out and wants to keep you at equilibrium, that's a lot of times why, like, when we start trying to do better, we just automatically quit, because your brain is designed to kind of keep you at that equilibrium, and it's so easy to revert back to the neural pathways that you have built with the habits that you have in your brain. And I actually have a story regarding that. I don't know if I'm going to share it now, but I might share it today in another video. But some of the other things that I do want to add in long term is no social media apps. We'll start with 15 minutes before bed. Drink a full glass of water when I wake up. That's pretty easy. And then one of the things that I do want to do today to kind of like start changing habits is to be mindful of how often I get the urge to scroll on social media, because like sometimes it's good, like we want to institute these changes, but it really starts up here. So sometimes it's good to just kind of assess yourself. You know what I'm saying? So just like, if I get the urge to scroll, it doesn't mean that I will not scroll. It's just like, be aware that you're having the urge to scroll. And I want to kind of like keep a little tracker for how often I get the urge to scroll and how often I do scroll, because data is everything. And I've noticed like a lot of things in life are patterns. And when you can get the data and see the patterns in the data, then that's when you can kind of assess how you want to go about making whatever change that you want to make. So that's one of the things that I do want to do, is be mindful of how often I get the urge to scroll. I already did a tick, because just grabbing my phone, you know, right now to record this video, I had the urge to scroll. So like I said, it doesn't mean that I won't scroll. It's just that I'm just kind of noting that I did get the urge to scroll, and I'm scared of how many ticks I'm going to get by the end of the day. But that's something else that, you know, more data that I want to start taking into account. And then some of my goals for today, I want to upload these videos to my YouTube channel as well. And then I kind of kept it simple today because we do have plans after work, but I also want to fold a load of laundry. And something else that I know, like, I tend to do is, like, I want to do something, or I get the urge to do something, and then I procrastinate and put it off, which is something we all do. So I want to get better at just like, if I have the thought to do something, and if it's just like a simple act, just go ahead and do it. Don't put it off. Like, for example, like last night I took a shower and I just was tired, so I didn't, clean my tub after I took a shower. So I was just in the restroom and I was like, let me just go ahead and clean the tub right now. I don't have to wait until like I take a bath and clean the tub after, which is what I usually do. I can just clean it now. So I did that. So it's like, I want to be more mindful on just not acting on whims, but just going ahead and knocking out just really simple activities when I think of them. So that's what I got right now, and I may come back on later. Okay. Hey y'all, so I'm back on here because I wanted to share something that I had touched on in my last video, as far as just like forming habits and the neural pathways, little circuits that you build in your brain when you are forming habits. So there was one time, I think I was watching this guy on YouTube. I believe his name is John Assaraf. And he puts out a lot of videos just on like the power of the mind, and like how the mind works and how we're influenced by like our different brains, like our reptilian mind, and just like, I can't remember the other two versions of, not versions, the other two places in the brain, but he breaks down a lot about the science of the brain and how it relates to us humans with our form, with what we do habit wise. And so this was a couple years, this had to be maybe about 6 years ago. Like I said, I get on these kicks, of just like going down just the rabbit hole of different like neuroscience and brain stuff videos. And so yeah, he was talking a lot about just neural pathways that are formed and forming habits. And this story might sound weird, but it really showed me like how much we act out of default rather than like out of like consciousness, So I remember one morning I got up to use the restroom, and like I was pulling the toilet paper, it's finished using the restroom. Number one, I'm not gonna get super nasty with it, but yeah, so I was pulling the toilet paper, and something told me to like, I think I had forgotten that I had pulled toilet paper, probably because I was on my phone, right? Just scrolling. So I pulled another, roll of toilet paper, and something told me, and then I I realized that I already pulled toilet paper. So I had these two little rolls of toilet paper, and something told me to compare the length of the toilet paper, right? And so when I compared them, I had pulled literally the exact same length of toilet paper, like the exact same length, the exact same amount of squares. And so that kind of amazed me, because it's like I just did it out of default, out of muscle memory, because that's just how much toilet paper that I pull when I use the bathroom to pee. And so at that time, when I was really like into these videos, it just really showed me just how we really do act out of default when we're not thinking. Because I wasn't thinking, when you pull toilet paper, you really aren't thinking, oh, let me pull like this amount of toilet paper. You're just pulling it because that's just an action that you do to finish doing whatever you're doing. So I just wanted to share that just, to like, as an example of just acting out of default, and just like one of the things that I'm really trying to change, like my default habits. And in the last video, I said that, I was going to really be mindful of one of my default habits, something that I'm sure we all do, just grabbing your phone to scroll on social media. So I was really, really going to examine how many urges I get to scroll on social media. And as of today, it's 5:45, so the day's not even over. And from the time that I made that video, which was maybe around 10:30, I think I've counted probably about 14 times that I've grabbed my phone to look at social media. And probably the majority of those times I actually did scroll, and then sometimes I was like, okay, I'm feeling the urge to scroll, but I'm not going to scroll. And the day's not even over yet. So it's like, you know, we're always complaining how we don't have enough time in the day. But I literally probably could have grabbed my phone 14 times as of 5:45 to scroll on social media for, 5-10 minutes. And that with that time, I could have accomplished stuff that I want to accomplish. So that's something that I just like really want to do in this journey. It's just, like I said, really collect the data and analyze what I'm doing. And another thing I had to share, and these might be very, very minuscule things, but they are things that I'm noticing. So, for example, earlier I was in the kitchen, I was cooking just like a really quick, not even breakfast. I think I was cooking like a fried egg or something like that. And I was waiting for it to cook. And usually, you know, I'll just grab my phone, scroll while I'm cooking. And so I decided, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna grab my phone. I'm just gonna put the dishes up, because I usually put the dishes up, you know, when I get off. You know, it's like stuff that you usually do when you get off of work. But I was like, I'm going to use this time that I would usually scroll on my phone to put up dishes. So I was in the kitchen later, and I think I was cooking something else. And I had, you know, my default was just to grab my phone. I was like, oh, wait, we're not doing that. You know, we're actually going to try and do something productive. So it's little things like that. So when I was putting up the dishes, I had grabbed the utensil holder. And usually I'll take the utensil holder and I'll take it over to where the drawer is that we have our knives and our forks. And for some reason, I don't know, you know, what I was thinking, but I ended up on the other side of the kitchen where our knives are. And I started putting away, you know, like the sharp knives in the knife holder. And I realized, I was like, this is interesting, because I never end up over here with the utensil holder putting up knives. Usually it's on, you know, it's in the drawer where the utensils are, or usually I put it on the counter where the utensils are, take the knives and bring it over and put it in the knife holder. And I just thought to myself, I wonder why I did that today. And I felt like, well, maybe this is more efficient and it's a little bit safer, you know, like actually putting up the sharp knives here instead of like grabbing them all with your hand and walking across the kitchen to put them in the knife holder. So I was like, you know, is my brain kind of like doing things more efficient because I am actually trying to pay more attention and get out of my default? And I don't know if that's a reach. I don't know if it's a stretch, but I don't think I've ever actually grabbed the utensil thing and put it over by the knives. I literally always go over by the drawer. So that's something else that I noticed. But yeah, so it's like when you just start being like conscious, I think your brain is actually looks for ways to be more efficient, and then it's actually starting to help you in that journey instead of working against you. Now it's just day 2, so you know it is super early, and like I said, that might be a complete and total reach for me jumping to that conclusion, but it's just something that I noticed, and it's something that I wanted to share. And something else that I wanted to share, as well as like checking social media, I notice sometimes like if I've checked social media and there's like, I'm not getting that dopamine hit, all the videos are the exact same, or it's like stuff that I'm not interested in, sometimes I'll just go and check my email for something, and it's like looking for that dopamine hit. So it's like, we also have to be conscious of that. I know we all say we want to spend less time on social media, but it's like you can do the doom scroll on other things too, like emails, when you just checked it like 5 minutes ago and you know nobody's about to send you something. Because the only thing that was in my emails at that moment was like Chipotle, and just Credit Karma, you know, scaring me, thinking something's up with my credit, but it's not, you know, just saying, have you checked your credit today? Just little stuff like that. So that's just something I wanted to come on here and share. The 2 things that I wanted to do today, I still have not done because it was a busy day with just full laundry and upload my videos to YouTube. I will be heading out in a little bit, but I'm definitely, I think, gonna go and get that laundry folded. And depending on what time I get back tonight, I'm gonna try and upload my videos to YouTube. But I still do want to be mindful that I'm still getting up early tomorrow, regardless. You know, we're gonna finish this week strong, even though tomorrow's just day 3, it wasn't a whole week. We are going to finish this week strong. So if I have anything else for today, I'll come back on here. But if not, have a great day.